Tony reached out, I think, just before Christmas, said, do you want to come back and do something for the new year? And I think everybody in the room today will resonate with what I'm about to talk about. What I'm going to talk about is stress. Now that might not seem motivational, but it is if you can understand it properly and spin it on its head. So let me ask a question. Who in the room, honestly, in your role, in your personal or professional life, gets stressed, no matter how little or high, from not sleeping at night to procrastination to worrying? That's pretty much the response in every conference or talk or seminar that I deliver. Reason being is because stress is an entirely natural thing to human beings. In fact, we rely upon it to perform at our peak. Where I'm going to start is I'm going to explain where stress comes from and how natural it is and essential at times for human existence. When you think about that, they're heavily sort of focused on avoidance. Avoiding risk, avoiding danger, staying alive, staying healthy, staying fit, all of the great stuff. And then we have children, some of us, and we carry that burden then on behalf of 1, 2 or 3 other people at that time. So the avoidance and the consequence and risks become greater. And that is the basic function of human existence, when you really strip us back. And this is where psychology, human emotions and state of mind comes from when we are in our personal and professional life. So when we work with clients, this is what I observe in people who are really productive towards staying in the fight and achieving goals versus people who tend to be more affected by the top two. We have 2 types of state of mind that we will be in the workplace. We have threat and challenge states. People are usually in a threat or challenge state when it comes to the workplace. A threat state is when we are trying to avoid the consequence of failure, and a challenge state is when we are well aware of the risks and the consequence of a certain project or business idea or investment or challenge, but we're more focused on the achievement of reaching the task at hand or the outcome. We as humans at any one time, driven by survival, reproduction and purpose, we will either be in threat state, avoiding risk and mistakes and danger, or we will be in the challenge state, which still says I have a healthy amount of an eye on the consequence, but I'm focused and I'm more focused on the achievement of the task at hand. You have to start to realize when you are in a threat or a challenge state, because what we find, right, and here's the key point I'm going to make, human beings are more successful, more productive when they are in a challenge state and not in a threat state. We need stress. This is important, switch on, or this carries, you know, a risk or whatever it might be. That raises our adrenaline and our state, but we have a level of control over the situation. So if you draw a dotted line there and a dotted line there, you would reach the peak performance zone. When I work with leaders, managers, individuals, sportsmen and women on trying to reach peak performance, I'm saying it's okay to have stress. It's okay to release that cortisol that says switch on, this is important, you're taking a risk here, this might not work. It's okay, we need that to perform, because if you don't have it, we're back in the ugly zone. Everything else, if you're too stressed, you're back in the ugly zone. If you don't have enough urgency, you're in the ugly zone. And if you have things out of your control, you could be in the ugly zone. Here's the point I want to make. I'm like this myself because I've spent so much time in the ugly zone, so do you. We're in it for 90% of our life because that can't be achieved all the time. Those who cope well in the ugly zone, under a little bit of stress, have the ability to take a little bit of control back and get back in. And that's just hopefully something you can maybe take away and challenge yourself on going forward. So thank you very much for listening, and hope, you know, I'll take any questions afterwards.